Pbbm, hindi makikipagtulungan sa ICC sa investigasyon ng drug war sa bansa. Kinumpirma ni Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. nitong Sabado 18 ng Pebrero, na hindi siya makikipagtulungan sa investigasyon ng International Criminal Court, ICC, sa giyera kontra droga ng administrasyon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Sa isang panayam sa Baguio City, sinabi ni Marcos na hindi siya makikipagtulungan hanggat hindi umano nasasagot ang mga katanungan hinggil sa jurisdiction ng ICC at epekto nito sa soberanya ng bansa. My position has not changed. I have stated it often, even before I took office as president, that there are many questions about their jurisdiction and what we in the Philippines regard as an intrusion into our internal matters and a threat to our sovereignty, ani Marcos. Until those questions of jurisdiction and the effects on the sovereignty of the Republic are sufficiently answered, I cannot cooperate with them, dagdag niya. Naniniwala rin si Marcos na mayroon namang magandang sistema ang bansa at hindi na kinakailangan ng tulong ng ICC. I feel that we have in our police and our judiciary a good system. We do not need assistance from any outside entity. The Philippines is a sovereign nation and we are not colonies anymore of these former imperialists, saad niya. Sinabi ito ng Marcos, kilalang kaalyado ni Duterte, matapos payagan ng ICC si Prosecutor Kerem Khan na buksan muli ang investigasyon sa posibleng paglabag ng karapatang pantao ng war on drugs sa bansa. Inulan ng komento sa social media ayon kay Larry Gruzo. Paano gaganda ang imahe ng Pilipinas sa ibang bansa pag ganito? Kung walang tinatago, wala dapat katakutan sa investigasyon ng ICC. Ayon din kay Romuald Alamoden Ken Tiller Pautal Utol magsalita. Halatang may kinatatakutan si BBM kaya ayaw niyang payagan ang ICC na mag-imbestiga sa usapin ng AIC sa ating bansa. Sanctions ang aabuti ng Pilipinas sa gayong naging pahayag ni BMM. Dagdag din ni Good Job Mr. President. Ryan France Mr. President, hindi po matatahimik ang mga kaluluwa ng mga inesinting naging biktima ng war on drugs ni Duterte, dahil pinagkakait niyo ang hustisya para sa kanila. Parang napipilitan KLNG pati MG salita ng ganyan kasi halata sa boses mo. Ayon din kay William Thomas, may punto ang Pangulo, banta sa ating sovereignty ang gagawin ng ICC na mag-investiga sa ating bansa, pero yung ginagawa kaya ng China, actual na ginagawa nila sa atin on, kaya sa tingin niya hindi kaya banta sa ating lahat on. Iba talaga. Hinikayat ni House Dangerous Drugs Panel Chairman at Surigao del Norte 2nd District Rep. Robert Ace Barbers ang mga Pinoy na gamitin ang hashtag #DefendDuterte bilang pagdepensa kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa gitna ng investigasyon ng International Criminal Court, ICC, sa giyera kontra iligal na droga nito. I'm encouraging Filipino netizens to use the hashtag #DefendDuterte especially if they believe that Duterte's drug war benefited the country, pahayag ni Barbers. Ayon sa kanya, niligtas umano ng drug war ni Duterte ang Pilipinas sa pagiging narco state nito. As chairman of the House Committee on Dangerous Drugs during the whole Duterte administration, I have seen the gravity of the drug problem firsthand. My position gave me privileged access to all information on the real situation, ani Barbers. I am sure that if he did not become the president, we are now a certified narco state. His tough resolve to fix the problem gave us all the hope and the breathing space we badly needed, dagdag niya. Hindi rin daw dapat isisi sa pulisya ni Duterte ang naging implementasyon ng drug war. If those who were tasked to implement the policy overdid it and committed abuses, the former president should not be faulted for them, saad ni Barbers. Naging pangulo ng bansa si Duterte mula 2016 hanggang 2022. Siya ang pinalitan ni Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos sa pwesto.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Yes.
What is your position on the plan of the International Criminal Court to investigate former President Rodrigo Duterte over his war on drugs?
My position hasn't changed, and I have stated it often, even before I took office as president, that there are many questions about their jurisdiction and what we in the Philippines regard as an intrusion into our internal matters and a threat to our sovereignty. So, no, I do not see what their jurisdiction is. I feel that we have in our police and in our judiciary a good system. We do not need assistance from any outside entity. The Philippines is a sovereign nation, and we are not colonies anymore of these former imperialists. So that is not something that we consider to be a legitimate judgment. So until those questions of jurisdiction and the effects on the sovereignty of the Republic are sufficiently answered, I cannot cooperate with them.
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. President.
Next question from Mr. Nestor Corrales from Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Sir, do you think it is now the right time to activate or to invoke the country's mutual defense treaty with the United States following the laser pointing incident at the West Philippine Sea?
Perhaps it is because if we activate that, what we are doing is escalating intensifying the tensions in the area. And I think that would be counterproductive. Besides, despite the fact that it was a military-grade laser that was pointed at our Coast Guard, I do not think that it is sufficient for us to for it to trigger the mutual defense treaty. So we are in constant contact, of course, with our treaty partners, not only with the United States, but also our ASEAN partners and our partners here in Asia. And that, I think, is the better recourse rather than to go directly to the mutual defense treaty, which, again, I am very concerned would provoke the tensions rather than cool the tensions down.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bea Corpin from Rappler.
Hi,
Hello.
sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, what prompted you, on China again, sir, what prompted you to summon the ambassador? Siyempre, malaking deal din yun, sir, to summon him. And how did the discussion go? What was discussed?
Well, what we discussed, and I said that the laser pointing incident was only a part of what we are seeing as a intensifying or a escalating of the actions of the militia of China, the marine militia of China, the Coast Guard of China, and the Navy of China. And actually, I said we have to find a way around this, because if we are such close friends, such as China and the Philippines, these are not the kind of incidents that we should be talking about between the president and the ambassador to the Philippines from China. And I reminded him that this was not what we agreed upon with President Xi when I visited him in Beijing. So we are hoping that we can find a better way rather than these incursions into our maritime territory and the rather aggressive acts that we have been seeing in the past few weeks and months.
Thank you, sir. Last question from Mr. Romy Gonzalez from DZRH.
Naibagaldam po. Considering the fact that the Cordilleras is the water cradle of the North, sir, what's your policy, direction towards protecting the environment in the Cordilleras, especially mining, sir?
Well, I think in terms of protecting the environment, it's very clear what the position of this government has always been. It has been an important part of all our policies that we are environmentally conscious, that we are moving the economy towards green technologies. We are moving our production of power towards renewables. So in that regard, all our forest cover is important and must remain. That is giving the Philippines, we fall into the category of a carbon sink country because of our forest cover. And so that is a very valuable asset for the Philippines. Now, in terms of monetizing, you can actually now monetize forest cover. You can give it a peso value, a dollar value, so that we can take advantage of being more active in promoting and monitoring, regulating, and encouraging the care of our forest cover, of all our environmental assets is very, very important. When it comes to mining, mining is very clearly an important part of our plans for the economy. However, it's clear that we do not want some of the incidents that we saw in the past few years to happen again. And so it is really a question of enforcing the law in terms of responsible mining. And that is what we will continue to do. We will always make sure that the mining companies who come in, once they are finished mining, that they leave the site in the same condition as it was when they found it.
Thank you, sir.